Ah, boy. Sorry everyone, I'm running a bit behind. Turns out researching the villains for this episode, it was pretty dangerous. But
have you ever wondered how many millions of reptiles, insects, and other delightful monsters there are for every human on this planet, conquering humanity? A tiny millionth of this world's population? My dear, that would be aiming low.
Today we're going to talk about the other side of the Secret Saturdays, the villains. First up on the list is the Illustrious Vv Argost, commonly referred to as Argost, simply. Argost hosts the Weird World television show, which our dear protagonist was a fan of until obvious issues happened in the show, you know, like him being an evil, maniacal villain. But in the show, Argost boasts and displays a large array of cryptids and lost artifacts, which are in fact a massive arsenal of tools he intends to use to find and conquer Kerr, the Lord of the Cryptids. And Argost could do it. If left unchecked, he shows this when he simultaneously launches attacks against not one, but all of the secret scientists who were put in charge of guarding the pieces of the Kerr stone. Cunning, cold, and calculated, Argost has been shown to use cryptids, science, and even mercenaries, from the use of firecracker beetles, neural-link parasites. Argost displays his brilliance by often fusing his knowledge of cryptozoology and science. This is showcased perfectly in his henchman, Munya.
Did anyone else know that he could do that?
Yet, not much to say about Munya other than a direct quote from Vv Argost himself. And although at times it's shown that Munya will defy Argost and his words to ensure his master's safety, the Saturdays also face off against the cult of Kerr. It was said in ancient times that Kerr was guarded by a race of snake people, otherwise known as the Nagas, the leader of which is Rani Nagi, Queen of the Nagas. The Nagas, devout followers of Kerr and enforcers of his word, intend to destroy all of humanity. Rani Nagi sees humanity as a blight and works with Argost at numerous points to further her goal of fighting Kerr and crushing mankind. She aids Argost in these occasions, shown when she attacks Zack and Fiskerton as they discover a lost Lemurian temple, showing curiosity and enlightening the Saturdays to her role and the Naga's true role as the enforcers of Kerr's will, and that the Lemurians existed to guard the world from Kerr. So Fisk was technically a Kerr guardian, not a guardian of Kerr? Okay, more on that later. On a lighter note, you remember how I mentioned mercenaries? Enter Leonidas Van Rook and his apprentice, Doyle Blackwell. Who doesn't love mercenaries on jetpacks and masks? Hey, they're even coronavirus friendly. Van Rook, while a mercenary for hire, and in his words, to the highest bidder at that, is also a cryptozoologist rivaling the Saturdays in knowledge of cryptids and just overall skill in handling cryptids. Van Rook, however, was solely interested in proving the existence of cryptids for profit, cash, money. This is how he built a reputation for himself. It's hinted at that he and Drew had some type of relations in the past. It didn't work out, likely due to that. Van Rook's motto is, "Two is plenty." Van Rook is a known cheapskate, cutting corners and taxing his apprentices for the gear they use and each individual bullet and munition that they expend, which is also kind of how he implores our next character from the Unveiling, Doyle Blackwell, the cocky, loudmouth, in-your-face mercenary, orphaned at a young age in a tragic accident that cast him from his family. Sound familiar? Doyle shows tactical and efficient skill in battle, often outwitting his enemy if his own actual caring nature doesn't intervene. Doyle can be seen having a softer side, saving Zack and even returning the claw at one point. It's actually revealed that Doyle is Drew's long-lost brother. Remember how I said we'd talk more on it later? Drew, falling one way, was found by the monks and raised and trained as a mystic. Doyle, however, gained his grand world tour of orphanhood. But Doyle's memory was a little different. He doesn't remember a tragic storm. Doyle remembers a monster attacking them, and that monster haunts them to this day. But that and even more will be unveiled in the final episode of The Secret Saturdays Unveiled, where we will finally unveil the true identity of the leader of the cryptids, Kerr, and unveil the largest secrets yet. Catch us on the next episode, everybody. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe.